podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
No brakes, no brakes, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Welcome along to British Speedway's official podcast, No Brakes, No Fear. Looking back on the recent action and ahead to what's coming up. We've got reaction from Monday night's fixture in the Premiership Knockout Cup semi-final as the Ipswich Witches stole it right at the end. Heat 15 and a stunning ride from Emil Sayfutdinov.
I tried to find some good speed and outside, and I did it. I did it. I did, it's like fast, but it was scary because like last lap is my bike is like it was like pulling and I can turn, so it's really happy.
Reaction from that fixture and reaction from some of the fixtures in the Rogue Motor Oil Premiership from last week as well, including Sheffield Tigers against the Birmingham Brummies, and also a look at what happened in the British Under-21 final as Sam Hagon is crowned British number one.
Right, yeah, that's good to say that. And it's been a good week and good to finish it with being Under-21 British champion.
And ahead of the British final at the senior level, we hear from one of the contenders and get to know him a bit better, Richard Lawson.
I like Glasgow.
Yeah.
I like, obviously, Poole and Leicester are up there, so I wouldn't be racing there week in, week out. I like Kings Lynn.
Get to know Richard Lawson a bit better. All this and much more besides, all coming up on British Speedway's official podcast. No brakes, no fear.
No brakes, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Where we'll start at Perry Barr then, where on Monday night the Ipswich Witches came up with another big result despite their depleted state with a first leg Knockout Cup semi-final win at Birmingham. The injury-hit Witches came back from 8 points down to snatch a 46-44 verdict at Perry Barr thanks to a sensational ride in Heat 15 by Emil Sayfutdinov. Brummies top scorer Justin Sedgmen looks set to secure a draw on the night. Sayfutdinov, though, built up speed and produced a stunning outside move going into the last lap. Emil Sayfutdinov scoring 15 plus 1 bonus, reserve Keenan Rue excelling with 13 plus 2, and Norik Bladorn proving a top guest on the night with 12 plus 1 bonus. Sedgmen scored 15 plus 1 for the Brummies himself. Well, let's get some reaction right now, starting with the Ipswich boss, Richie Hawkins.
Well, Richie Hawkins, before the meeting, if I'd have told you Scott Nicholls was going to score 2 and you were still going to win here at Perry Barr tonight, you'd probably have laughed. Just how proud are you of that effort tonight?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Norwich done like way better than we could have expected, really, and covered Scott. And Scott just had one of them nights. He did everything, to get us into this semi, to be honest, on Thursday. So, yeah, over the course of 2 meetings, he's still done a great job. Just had a bad night, it's unlucky. Norwich superb, come in to ride like that. It's way more than what was expected, and Keenan really stepped up. And we've seen it a couple of times now recently from Kenny, and it's kind of what we were hoping, and he's getting there.
Yeah, and even Jordan Jenkins, his score and performance might go under the radar, but nevertheless, 4 paid 5 and a big win in the middle of that as well.
Yeah, that Heat 8 win is, that was two meetings running, and they've massively helped the team and turned the tides in our favour. So, yeah, he's important race wins there, and he's improving and he's getting his confidence back up, and it's good to see, but we certainly need it at the moment.
And it's easy to forget that in that first block of races before the first track grading break, a few things didn't go your way either, did they?
No, obviously, yeah, a few things, sort of like the Scott breaking down, and it's like you've touched the tapes in another one, different things. It's like, but we fought hard like we have done all year. This side, they have, we had guessed it tonight, but everything seems to be rubbing off on them, just the battling qualities and the fight, and everyone's enjoying themselves, and the guests come in and seem to be fitting in really well with us. And yeah, it's all, in that respect, it's going well. Where everything sort of seems to be going wrong, we're still doing all right.
So is it fair to say you're in a better position going into the home leg on Thursday than you thought perhaps maybe you could be?
Well, Chris was talking to me before the meeting. He was like, "Oh yeah, what do you think if we lost by 8? It'd be all right." I was like, "No, I think we're coming to win the meeting, boss." So I'm happy, delighted, but yeah, I just snatched your hand off, you know. When Dan pulled out this morning at 11 o'clock, I just snatched your hand off for a 2-point win, so yeah, I'm delighted.
Richie, many congratulations and all the best for Thursday.
Nice one, mate, thank you.
OK, Ryan Guest there with Richie Hawkins. Let's hear the opposite point of view. Of course, the Birmingham Brummies were hoping to track their new signing, Freddie Lindgren. He will now be making his debut on Thursday. That's been confirmed, and Zach Cook moves out of the side. But speaking after the fixture on Monday, here's team boss Sam Ermolenko with Mike Taylor from BBC Radio WM.
Sam, it was a difficult one tonight. You could have had quite a big lead from that meeting. What changed in the second half?
Yeah, I think the opposition kind of found the solution to getting out of the starts, and they had enough manpower to basically take care of the guys that were suffering on our side, and that was the difference. The track was not much of a racetrack tonight. For whatever reason, the weather changed in the favor that we want with sunny weather. I think that the material on the track is still yet to be perfect for our guys. So I think that's kind of the solution that we're looking back at now that we got to kind of try and solve.
Yeah, I mean, these feel like quite small margins because for a while you were gradually building up a lead in that meeting.
Yeah, it was difficult when, like I said, when they found their formula of their guys that were actually getting out of the start over our guys, we ran out of manpower then. And the more we threw at it, it just didn't work.
It's obviously hard. Is it recoverable?
I would like to think that anything's possible, and there's a lot riding on the line right now for our team as far as whether we're going to have Freddie enrolled in the team on Thursday, or we're going to go there with what we got. And we're looking at possibly, missing Stevie Worrell was a big blow to us because he's a good starter, and we probably would have made a difference with him being here. So we're just like to see if we can find a gap for that now.
Yeah, is it possible Steve will be ready by Thursday?
Absolutely not, because he couldn't ride in today's event. It's an automatic 7-day sit out. So the way the rules work, and he's not well at the moment, and he's got something to do with he's getting dizzy in the head because he's got an ear infection, and it's just it's dangerous for him to be on the track. But the doctors did say that can clear up in 3 days or a week.
Yes, it's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Your fans will be encouraged to see Freddie here, and I know the paperwork is what it is, but to actually see him here and on the bike, it tells everybody that he is primed and ready to go.
Yeah, he's committed to the what we need, and we know. I'm pretty sure it's probably been mentioned, but he chased us down to be a part of our team because he can see that he can compliment us plus compliment himself, and when you're around. We got a pretty good staff when it comes to me and Chris Adams to be able to keep these guys going forward. And we do know how strong our bottom guys are. And we had some problems today with Leon's equipment. And we're going to put that to bed tomorrow. And that's never going to be a problem again, we hope. So all in all, we think when Freddie comes on board, we got a solid team.
It's a big statement for a club like this to have a rider, well, as you say, that wants to come on board, that you haven't had to chase him, but a rider of his stature to come and join the Brummies at this point is a very big moment.
It is, but there, when you read between the lines, at the level that these guys are competing, they need to have challenges every day to be world champion. They can't have any days off. No. These guys are robots, man, and they practice winning races, and Freddie's one of them. And he just wants more of it. Yeah. So coming here to the Brummies is just going to give him that opportunity to fill those gaps and keep him sharp.
Let's get some rider reaction right now. And first of all, from the man who won it for the Ipswich Witches and saved the best for last. It was a cracking Heat 15. I spoke to Emil Sayfutdinov, who scored 15+1 on Monday night at Perry Bar. Emil, a tough night to begin with for the Witches, but you came from 8 points down to lead by 2 points going into the second leg. But a great ride from you. Heat 15, probably the ride of the night.
Yeah, that was a good meeting for us, and that I was surprised about the scoring, because I think it's after hit 13 it was level, so I just been happy. We tried to pushing, and winning this hit. That's hit 15. It was a little bit tough, and I tried to find some good speed and outside, and I did it. I did it. I did, it's like fast. But it was scary because last lap my bike is it was pulling and I can turn, so it's really happy, it's about my bikes and performance, all team, so we have second legs first day, and then we need to be focused, and I hope we get the final.
Obviously, tricky situation. So many team changes for the Witches. You had Norrick come in. He did a great job as well. You were team captain tonight, filling the boots of Danny King, who's with you this evening as helping out on the spanner. So still a team effort. So you had a lot to do tonight, and filling the boots of Jason Doyle is not an easy thing to do at rider replacement.
Yeah, like you said, it's like more than half team, is out. And yeah, Danny was with us, and he helped a lot, and thank you very much, for him, because he did, it's like help to my mechanic to preparing my bike to the all hit. So yeah, so I'm really happy, and of course, I hope all riders, injured riders, back soon, and I wish them, it's all the best. So yeah, so I think if them is coming, and then back, and we will be stronger, and we'll see, for sure that today's guest riders was really good, and thanks for them for the good full preparation and the good points.
Just a word about Jason Doyle. That is a huge loss because he's confirmed he's going to be missing now for the rest of the season. It's obviously a big blow to him, but a big blow to the team, and very hard position to fill and find a rider to match what Jason Doyle brings to the team.
Yeah, it's a shame, So yeah, so it's sometimes it's better to like Doyle making is better to make operation or surgery, is to be preparing, for next year. Then it's, when you're going like with the injury, it's a little bit tough. And yeah, for sure, it's for him it's bad news, but that is speedway, Sometimes, that can happen, and maybe we learn some things more, and in the future we will be smarter. So that like is my opinion. Like I always say to me, and then if you crash, you try to learn something more, and yeah, so it's all the time we learn, because the speedway is so hard, and sometimes it's like logic, sometimes it's not logic. So we try to do some things, to show the people it's great speedway, and like I said before the interview, Freddie is coming also here, and try to invite more riders to come in UK, and because it's speedway in UK, is getting much better and better, so it's good preparing the track, and I think we can learn more, and I hope the speedway here will be much better.
And potentially you might have another big star to ride against on Thursday. Freddie Lindgren is here. He's done some demonstration laps around the Perry Barr track tonight. He's hoping that he might be able to be in the team for Thursday.
I don't know about that, but it will be good, because it's good when it's full team, is coming, and then will be a good fight, and to get the final.
For the most part, though, the Birmingham Brummies were in command until that late surge by the Ipswich Witches, just seeing the Witches edge into the lead at the halfway stage in the Knockout Cup semi-final. Top scorer for the Brummies, Justin Sedgmen.
Yeah, it's a little bit disappointing because we won here the other day against them, and yeah, they have a pretty patched up team, and I suppose we do as well. Fortunately, their patched up team beat us tonight, unfortunately, so yeah, it is what it is, but as a personal note, it was great for me. There's a couple other boys trying their hearts out and, not getting the results that they deserve, but, it was close, but, one more lap and it would have been equal, so it is what it is.
That's Speedway, though. If Speedway was over 5 laps, it would be a very different history, wouldn't it?
No, it need to be over 3 tonight.
But you had a fantastic race there in Heat 15. It was probably waited right to the end, but Heat 15 was the race of the night, I think.
Yeah, obviously he's such a class rider, and it just shows you how good of a rider he is. Like, there's some of those guys that chose not to ride in the UK, they're now back here, and he set the benchmark of what you can do, and he's such a class rider, and to get one win over him was pretty cool. It would have been nice to get 2, but it's one of them things. He always races you hard and fair, and when it come to my turn to ride hard and fair, I give it to him. So yeah, it is what it is.
It was just hard to know, I think, when you watch it back, as to where he was going to go. If he was coming around the outside, coming up the inside, it must be a nightmare to defend against a rider like that.
Yeah, like I said, he's so good. Literally, he's, probably one of the most talented riders in the world, and find something from nowhere, and that's what happened. But yeah, as for me, like it was good. It was good to lead him for a bit.
But you do have the new addition here in the pits. He's just out there, Freddie Lindgren. He's been for a few laps around Perry Barr, and hopefully he'll be joining you in the team soon.
Yeah, he's pretty excited. Just talking on track walk of that tonight, and he's here for a reason tonight to suss it all out and put his best foot forward. And he did 10 years at Monmouth, so he knows the script and he knows how it all works. And personally, I think having another guy that talks pretty good English is good for the team atmosphere over here as well. And it'll be great to see him back.
Yeah, well, hopefully that might be on Thursday. He's got his fingers crossed, but you head to Vauxhall for the second leg of this on Thursday with just 2 points behind, though.
Yeah, and we've got to make it happen. So, yeah, I don't think Steve's back, which is unfortunate. So there's going to be a few boys having a few rides, but tonight was a good hit out with everyone in their numbers and that. So if we can get Fred in and make it happen.
As we touched on earlier, team changes are happening for the Birmingham Brummies, and Freddie Lindgren will indeed be taking his place in the side for Thursday's second leg at Vauxhall. So Freddie Lindgren back in British Speedway, and he looked pretty relaxed, and the bike sounding good when he did some practice laps at Perry Barr after Heat 15 on Monday night. Let's hear about the Ipswich Witches then, because they've got their own team troubles, of course, now, with a number of riders out, not just through injury, but also through illness as well. We believe Adam Ellis is close to a return. Jason Doyle, however, out for the season, which poses a big problem for the Ipswich management. Let's hear from Chris Louis.
Yeah, look, we've been we're more of a. It's not fair to say we're more of a team than we were last year, but we're not as reliant this year on the top two doing what they generally do. We've proven at times, the win at Sheffield, I don't think anybody scored over 8. And last year, if you'd have said that Emil and Jason were going to score less than 8, then there's no way we'd have won anywhere, home or away. So, the fact that we can do that shows that we're much more of a 1-7. Everybody appreciates that. The team know that, and we've just got to weather this storm.
Some words for Jason Doyle as well. Obviously, from the club's point of view, it's disappointing, but even more disappointing for Doyle, because he was looking back to his best at the front end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, when he made the call to me to say that he knew he would be out for the remainder of the season, it was a tough call to take, because we're mates, and at the end of the day, he was looking as determined and riding as well and as fast as he probably did back in 17 when he was champion. So it was devastating just to hear that he wasn't going to be riding anymore this year, from his point of view personally, and of course, he's irreplaceable for us in the team. He's, in my opinion, probably along with Emil, the best rider in this country. And so therefore we've got to look at options.
I was going to say, you've used the word irreplaceable there. Just how do you cover his absence now for the remainder of the season?
The best we can. He is irreplaceable. We won't cover him like for like. We know that, and we've got to look at what that means to us. As I said at the beginning, it's just a matter of weathering the storm. Getting results best we can, and working on what the rest of the season looks like. We've been working on it since before the news broke, because Jason had an idea it was the case, but he needed to be double sure. He took advice from Poland, from Australia, and unfortunately when all the experts agreed, then it was inevitable.
So there was one other fixture on Monday night in the Rowe Motor Oil Premiership, where Oxford Spires held on for a dramatic 46-44 win over Leicester, after the Lions threatened a comeback victory. Rowan Tungate and Matt Sajanowski both overtook Sam Masters in Heat 15 for a 3-3. The Spires needed the visiting captain Max Frick out front. The Lions had recovered from 34-26 down to pile on the pressure, with the home side making several passing moves to protect their advantage. Tungate top scoring with 13, and Matt Sajanowski adding 9+2 as the Spires returned to the top 4 in the league table, whilst Max Frick racked up 14 from 6 rides for the Lions, who did take the aggregate bonus point, but they drop out of the playoff places. Looking back to last Thursday, meanwhile, in the Rowe Motor Oil Premiership, and the Sheffield Tigers moved within 1 point of leaders Ipswich with a 54-36 win over Birmingham. Defending champions now ahead of Bellevue on race points difference. and have a match in hand on the Witches after a comfortable win at Oleton. Ty Woffenden scored a paid maximum with 11+1, including a spectacular third to first effort to win Heat 11, whilst Chris Holder bagged 14 points, Jack Holder with 12, and Kyle Howarth 10+1 also in the major points. Brummies skipper Steve Worrell scored 11+1, taking the only 2 race wins recorded by the visitors. Some reaction right now, first of all from Sheffield team manager Simon Stead.
We've sort of found a bit of momentum again now. Good result at Bellevue on Bank Holiday Monday, and then we just I feel like we're kind of finding a bit of a stride again now, and things are looking good. The Heat leaders are doing their bit. They're really strong at the moment. It'd be great to get Pico back. You know, it's not ideal to run RR, but with the difficulty in finding guests, it was something that we found necessary tonight, and an opportunity to give our home riders another chance at getting a couple of heats. So look, we got the job done. That was the most important thing. I think Birmingham put up a good fight, in fairness to them, and they were under strength. But I think when they bring Freddie in for whatever they're going to do, they're going to be a different lineup. So perhaps next time they'll run us a bit harder. So we're going to need to be on it.
One of the big high points was that cheer that went up, and everybody wondered what that cheer was. I did, because I didn't hear what the announcement was. But Jack Holder finally breaking the track record. A track record you've tried to go for a few times, no doubt, and it stood for a long time here at Sheffield.
Yeah, I held it for a long time too. And Chris Holder actually collared me, because I think at one point he beat my track record and then I got it back. So he collared me and Jack together, and he said actually it's a pretty nice moment because there's 3 of us right there who've all held the track record here. So he deserves it. He's been good in for that for quite a while now, but to do it in Heat 13 when he did it, it's just unbelievable. It just shows how fast he's going, doesn't it? So really pleased for him. But no doubt, Wolfie will have that in his sights, so he'll want that next week.
Yeah, so that was a big moment there. Heat 13, Jack Holder, the track record holder now at Oleton. Simon Stead there touching on the fact that he previously was a track record holder, and another one of those was Chris Holder. So the holders holding the title, and I also spoke to Chris after the fixture, after his impressive performance on Thursday night as well.
Yeah, it was a good night for us guys. You know, Birmingham got a few guys missing, so we had to capitalise on that, and yeah, we did, and yeah, all the boys did a good job, and we come away with the win.
And your kid brother breaking the track record, it stood for I think 13 and a half years. Yeah. Myself and Rory Shine on commentary, and Rory was saying it's very rare anybody gets under 60 seconds here, but he's gone under 59, 58.9 I think.
Oh no, that might stand for another 15 years or whatever it was, but yeah, it was a fast ride. I was with his mechanic watching, and we could tell it was quick, but we don't really pay attention obviously at the times, but when they said it wasn't a surprise. I had the track record here one time, and then yeah, he's knocked about 3 seconds off my one. But no, it was good night. Good finish of the night for him too.
And a good night overall for Sheffield. Of course, still not at full strength with Josh Pickering missing, but everybody played their part. And Wolfie's Heat 11 was that was quite spectacular.
Yeah, there was a few good races, and yeah, Wolfie's won in that race. I was standing with my son on the gate, and I said, "Watch him in here." And then yeah, he put on a bit of a show for everybody, and probably scared himself a little bit because I think it scared everyone in the pits. But no. When we all sort of bang in a few points, we're pretty tough to beat around here. So hopefully we can continue that for the rest of the year.
So you've still got a couple of meetings in hand on some of the sites around you, and heading into a busy June now.
Yeah, we've had quite a big run of home meetings, so it's been good to get some meetings around here, because obviously at the start we were sort of so on and off, but we've got a few away ones coming up now, so it'd be good to get a few points on the road, but winning at home like that gives a bit of confidence.
Just rounding up a couple of other bits then from the Rome Motor Oil Premiership, and first of all, a shout out to Scott Nichols, contender for Best Guest Performance of the Season, who came in for Ipswich actually in the Knockout Cup last Thursday against Leicester. Former British champion, of course, showing his class at the ripe old age of 46, it says here. Truth be known, I'm actually slightly older than Scott Nichols, so I would say that he's a spring chicken. 17-point haul from 6 rides to help the injury-hit Witches into the semi-finals. Shout as well, just to mention about Bellevue. Of course, not mention them because they're currently on a break from Rome Motor Oil Premiership action. Their campaign is due to resume at Sheffield on June the 20th. The Aces monitoring the fitness still of skipper Brady Kurtz, who's missed their last 2 fixtures due to injury. Keep an eye on that one. Looking at the fixtures then coming up in the week ahead, it's Knockout Cup week this week. So we've got the semi-final second leg between Ipswich and Birmingham. As you heard earlier there, Ipswich got a 2-point lead, 46-44 at half-time there. It will see the debut of Freddie Lindgren for the Birmingham Brummies on Thursday night at Vauxhall. And it's first leg action in the Knockout Cup for Kings Lynn, who take on the Sheffield Tigers at the Adrian Flux Arena. That fixture live on BSN on Thursday night as well. Then looking ahead to action on Saturday, of course, we need to mention British Final. That takes place at Bellevue, 7:30. And then Monday, Row Motor All Premiership action, the Ipswich Witches versus the Sheffield Tigers. And that one is finally poised as well, with Ipswich just in the lead, 46-44 for the aggregate bonus points. All to ride for at Vauxhall on Monday evening, and that's how the Row Motor All Premiership action stacks up at the moment. We'll cover things in the Championship in the next part of No Brakes, No Fear.
No Brakes, No Fear, the official British Speedway podcast.
Okay, next to Glasgow, and a big congratulations to Sam Hagon, who was crowned the British Under-21 champion after a superb performance to take the title on Sunday. He'd come through the qualifiers in Plymouth earlier in the season and actually upstaged pre-meeting favourite Leon Flint in the final for the biggest result of his career. Leicester, Poole and Bellevue Colts rider made it through to the final with 13 points. Leon Flint leading the scores at the time on 14, dropping his only point to Sam Hagon. And they were joined in the final by Ashton Bowden and Joe Thompson. Hagon made the start in the decider with a dramatic first lap, seeing Bowden bouncing off the fence before Leon Flint came through for second place. Let's hear from the winner then, the 2024 British Under-21 champion, Sam Hagon.
Sam Hagon, congratulations, British Under-21 champion 2024.
Right, yeah, that's good to say that. And no, it's been a good week and good to finish it with being an Under-21 British champion.
Obviously, you had a few thrills and spills along the way. It didn't start perfectly for you in your first ride, but you got it together after that, and that can sometimes be the hardest bit, getting off to a negative start with a third place. But after that, unbeaten, I think.
Yeah, I sort of we thought the track was a bit slick in what it was, and we went a different setup, and actually showed I made a good start and then couldn't really turn, and when I got it turned I was all over the place. But no, we went back to what we usually run, and yeah, I was unbeaten after that, and I was making some good starts, and where it really matters, I made two really good starts, so I'm glad with that.
And it came really down to your last ride where you needed a win in your last outing, so a bit of pressure on there even before we got to the finals, but you managed to get yourself automatically through to the final.
Yeah, obviously, luckily I beat Leon, so it wasn't quite a 15-point maximum, but no, it was one of them. It was I did what I had to do, and Leon picked gate one, I was off two, and they just sort of made a better gate, and honestly, it felt like it. I don't know what it is on the rerun, but I just got lucky, sort of thing. It was Speedway can be luck sometimes, and I was definitely, if anyone got in front, I think it'd be hard to pass them, but I just was there in the right place at the right time.
Obviously, you've got a lot of Speedway history in your family. You also had Martin Dugard in your corner as well. You know the significance of this. You know, you joined some legendary names of Speedway and British Speedway now on that trophy.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Obviously, having my dad and Martin Dugard on the pit today, and even Justin Sedgmen helped me out today, which is pretty good. Sort of live in Australia, so it's good to have someone with knowledge and help me out a little bit. So, but no, yeah, to join sort of the trophy list, I'm over the moon with it. So just keep plugging away.
Something that nobody can ever take away from you, and we'll see you on Wednesday on BSN. We're at Poole. We'll see you for the big homecoming. I'm sure there'll be a big reception for you.
It'll be, I reckon.
Well, he led the way for the most part and pretty much unbeaten throughout the course of the afternoon. But it was the second step on the podium for Leon Flint.
Just didn't get the drive I wanted to off the corner. Coming off the second bend, I thought, I might have had him. But it was really just a race to whoever got that outside line on the third bend. The dirt was that far out. You seen Ashton try to go for it. I had a little look over my shoulder and thought, oh, you're doing well if you get to the fourth bend doing that. But no, definitely can't take anything away from the winner tonight. He was on top form, and even in the heats before the final, he done us there as well. So fair play to him.
It was really a choice of whether you held it really tight on the inside or really went for it around the outside, and it was that decision, wasn't it, as to which choice paid off?
Yeah, like I said, it was like whoever got to that outside line in the third and fourth bend, you were almost checked out really. Just coming off one, he done the perfect thing. He made the start and kind of blocked my run a bit. But yeah, there was some good racing today, looking forward to next Saturday for the SGP2 qualifier. So hopefully we can go back to the drawing board and get a result there.
Yeah, and that is the next stage for you, isn't it? On a individual basis, the SGP2 qualifiers, under 21 World Championships, and you have to head abroad for that one. But you're going to France.
Yes, oui.
Very good. You're fluent.
Yeah. We've got, I've been on the go since Thursday, so got Birmingham tomorrow. Go and wash the bike now, and Poland Tuesday, and who knows? There might be a guest booking come Wednesday, then Thursday Ipswich, and then Saturday in France. So yeah, keeping busy. I'll complain about it now, but next week when I've got a week off, I'll be bored and complaining about not doing anything. So just enjoying it while it's here.
Well, from the Cab Direct Championship then, on Saturday night, Scunthorpe Scorpions snatched a dramatic 46-44 win at Berwick to make it 3 out of 3 in the Cab Direct Championship so far this season. It was a bit of a bruising clash, though, at Shieldfield Park, with the Scorpions losing both Michael Palm-Toft to suspected broken collarbone, and Nathan Ablett had to sit out the remainder of the meeting with a knee injury after the two teammates collided in a Heat 6 crash when Michael Palm-Toft suffered chain failure on the first bend. The Bandits had their own problems, with Jai Etheridge ruled out with concussion after coming to grief in Heat 5. Scunthorpe led by 2 points going into Heat 15, but the Bandits held a 5-1 to turn the meeting around until Kyle Howarth and Connor Mountain forced their way past Drew Kemp on lap 2 of Heat 15 for a 3-3 to win it for the Scorpions. Let's hear from Simon Lambert, the Scunthorpe Scorpions skipper, who himself scored 10 points on the night.
Yeah, it's a bit gay and go here, but there was some good passing tonight, there was some good races, and obviously we got the result we came for. We said we were coming to win, and that's what we've done. That certainly puts the doubters to shame as such, and makes amends for the cup. So great team performance, but obviously, like you say, comes with a price. Tofty, I'm not sure on really yet whether it's collarbone, shoulder, or just precautionary. Nathan's hurt his knee, and obviously Luke's just had a whack in 14. So we've got a few days off now till Wednesday, so we need to just go home, get some sleep, rebuild, and reassess everything again tomorrow.
Sets everything up perfectly for the sides meet again very soon for the aggregate bonus point, though, doesn't it, at the Eddie Wright Raceway? But having home advantage, you must be fancying your chances of claiming all 3 points there.
Listen, this is Speedway. We come here and got absolutely annihilated. They come to us and they were already talking about Poole in the semi, and obviously things happen. So we did the unthinkable. So certainly, Speedway's 15 heats. It's like 15 minutes of passion and fun in it, so they're more than capable of coming to our place and doing the same to what we've done tonight. So we don't take anything for granted, we just keep going, and obviously we are a bit of a force at home, but we want to keep that momentum and keep building. But like I say, we got Oxford away to think about Wednesday first, and then we go again.
Okay, great. Close meeting anyway, despite the delays and the injuries, of course, and hope everyone... wish everyone all the best who are finding themselves laid up tonight.
No worries, and obviously a good advert for you guys at BSN as well. So I'd just like to say get well soon to Jason Doyle. Obviously we've seen he's out for the season. He's my hero and my main man. So rest up, mate.
Well, there's team changes in the Cab Direct Championship as well. The Poole Pirates have made a change at reserve. Vinnie Ford is handed his first opportunity in the Cab Direct Championship. Ford, who's impressed in the National Development League with Leicester this season, reached the semi-final in Sunday's British Under-21 final, and he takes the place of Max Perry at Wimborne Road. We can hear now from Rory Schlein, a former Poole Pirate himself, on what it means and perhaps what lies ahead for Vinnie Ford at Wimborne Road.
Yeah, obviously you go there and you've got to go with your expectations, but I think that was a shrewd move by Matt. Matt's obviously seen something in Vinnie, and I even picked Vinnie as an outsider at the beginning of the meeting, having done some track days with him on the British Youth. So, look, I think he's an exciting talent, and I think he'll suit Poole well. You know, the track does lean towards guys who can ride the inside well, and he proved that at Glasgow the other day.
Well, looking at other news in brief from the Cab Direct Championship, got to say a special shout to Paco Castagna, the Edinburgh skipper, stepping up with a superb 14-point haul, bouncing back from a bad night at Oxford as the Monarchs defeated fierce rivals Glasgow 50-39 at Ashfield, and that booked their place in the BSN Series semi-finals. Elsewhere in the Cab Direct Championship, well, obviously as a result of that disappointment for Glasgow, and the Tigers boss Cammy Brown admitting he's hugely disappointed after that defeat, and also a defeat to follow it up at Redcar the night after. They lost 50-40. Redcar in turn getting their first win on the board of the season in the Cab Direct Champions, but the defending champions still looking to find their best away form. And Workington, unfortunately, being victims of a break-in at the GT Tyres Arena last week. Cumbria Police investigating the incident. The Comets still intend to be on track at home to Plymouth on June the 15th, but the club have released a statement saying that a storage building which had some track equipment, including strimmers, grass cutters, power tools and other equipment like that, was targeted, currently estimating the loss to be substantial, with thousands of pounds of equipment stolen, although police and forensics are looking to help out further on that. And Plymouth are still unable to track a full 1-7. Nico Cavati has been suspended for 28 days by the SCB after racing on the continent whilst not appearing for the Gladiators. Dan Thompson is currently ruled out for the rest of the week through illness as well. So that's the situation in the Cab Direct Championship. And looking at the fixture picture as things go, well, Wednesday night it's the Oxford Cheetahs versus the Scunthorpe Scorpions, Poole Pirates versus the Redcar Bears, and Poole versus Redcar will be live on BSN on Wednesday night. Thursday, of course, is Premiership Day, and then back to Championship action on Friday. Edinburgh versus Oxford, Scunthorpe versus Berwick. And that fixture between Scunthorpe and Berwick also live on BSN, I should say, as well. Edinburgh, of course, have their own live stream for the Oxford fixture. And then looking ahead to the next Championship action will be next Tuesday, when the Plymouth Gladiators host the Berwick Bandits, with Berwick ahead 47-42 on aggregate in that one. That's the picture for the Cab Direct Championship for the upcoming week. Coming up then in the next part of No Brakes, No Fear, tell you what, it's a while since we've had one. Why don't we have another Mike Meets? Mike Boswell, reporter extraordinaire who was travelling the continent last week, has caught up with another British Speedway's top stars to get to know them a little bit better, and we'll hear from Mike next.
No Brakes, No Fear, the official British Speedway podcast.
Saturday night then at the National Speedway Stadium, it is the British final. Who will be the British champion for 2024? Well, we'll find out over the course of the 22 heats to decide it. You'll be able to watch it live wherever you are as well, because it's been shown on Eurosport on Saturday night and Discovery Plus. Of course, it is a stellar lineup featuring Ty Woofenden, Robert Lambert and Dan Bewley. Britain's 3 Grand Prix stars are going to be involved in that. But of course, the best of British also battling it out for the chance to be the British champion. And of course, if it's not one of those 3 big dogs that you might say, then whoever finishes highest among them will be heading to Cardiff, whether that's being the champion, or of course if those 3 Grand Prix riders finish all on the podium, then potentially whoever finishes 4th could be going to Cardiff as well. But it's all about winning the British title, and a rider who's been fairly close over the years and certainly got his eye on it on Saturday is Richard Lawson. But let's learn more about the real Richard Lawson. We've sent our intrepid reporter Mike Boswell for a chat with Richard Lawson of the Poole Pirates and the Leicester Lions.
Name?
Richard Lawson.
Occupation?
Plasterer.
Occupations? That's fair enough. Do you know what? I nearly put occupations rather than just careers.
Yeah.
How have you done plastering?
About 10 years now.
Did you go to college?
Yeah, just done a course, and then just progressed in it, I guess. And not just plastering, I do like renovation work and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, Did you have to start off on like building sites?
And I just work for myself now, and that's my winters. Grafting away.
Cool. Well, leave a number. I know you're up north though, so I'm down south.
No, I'm Cheltenham.
You're Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right. Any building work? Ask Richard. People who first time on a speedway bike. We've established first time obviously for the plastering. First time on the speedway bike.
Speedway bike. So that would be when I was about, because I didn't come into the sport till late, about 22, 23. And I don't know if anyone remembers a Workington rider called Craig Branney. He brought his bike down. Keith Denham, the owner of the club, approached me. He knew I did motocross, so it kind of come from that, and that was my first go. That was in 2007, I think.
Wow. So few years now in the sport, progressed obviously to Premiership. Now, if you take that now. People who have kind of helped you along the way. So you obviously mentioned up at Workington, but anyone else kind of helped you through?
Oh yeah, I'd say the first one would be my wife. She's been there from day dot.
Yeah.
The very beginning. So we've been ups and downs of the sport. The injuries and stuff, and you need someone like that. So that's number one, and then just been through a few mechanics, but my main mechanic is Martin Satchel. Satch. He's been by my side. Good few, probably going on 10 years now.
So if I asked him, would he have some stories about you?
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, that's another day. So best thing about Speedway?
Getting paid.
Excellent. Yeah, that's quite handy.
Yeah.
You're getting paid.
I enjoy that.
Well, yeah, that allows you to live probably. Good stuff. And if I went and talked to your friends, how would they describe you?
Probably easygoing, late. Just during, I don't know, maybe you'd have to ask a couple.
So hold on, I picked out something. So if ever we say, Richard, can you attend something? I'm going to give you a time, like 30 minutes ahead of time, or?
I am always late. I just, don't like being early for anything. Try and get there as late as possible.
Make an entrance, maybe, I don't know.
No, the opposite. Just kind of get your head down, get in, get out.
Fair enough. One to watch for the future. So I know, you've been involved, obviously, at different tiers of Speedway in your time. Do you have your eye on anyone, or even helping anyone at the moment?
I'm not helping anyone, but I'd say one to watch. It's got to be Ben Cook at the moment. Last couple of years he's been building, and I think he's for a good year. Hopefully he can get a good go into Europe, and I think he can go on to good things.
Now, going back, and I think we are both old enough to remember the old style iPods. What would be on your iPods?
Anything from Kings of Leon.
Yeah.
I've got quite a wide range. I love Alanis Morissette.
Mm-hmm.
But then I can go into kind of the Kings of Leon, and I don't know, quite an array.
Would you be that type of person who turns up, who maybe has got some like Kings of Leon blasting out? You open the door and he goes, "He's here. We know you're here."
No, I don't. I don't like the attention. So no.
Fair enough. Well, we're establishing it. So a lot of travel happens. Plane. If you hop on a plane, aisle, middle, or window seat?
Window, always.
Sleep?
Pardon?
Sleep?
To sleep?
Sleep or watch taking off?
Yeah, I like to watch it take off, and then I'll sleep, no problem, and then I like to watch the landing as well.
Yeah, same here. I think I might know this answer, but if I say I do, then I'm going to be a big head, so that's not fair. Career post Speedway? Which...
Yeah, I think I'm kind of into the building trade at the moment, so I'll probably be carrying that on. We've flipped a couple of houses, so we'll be doing that. But I'm also reading some books on landscape gardening. I like that. I like the look of that. I like working outside, and if I can incorporate a bit of that, I'm quite keen to pursue that.
Well, as someone who is currently seeking prices for landscape gardening, and to your other point about the best thing about Speedway being paid, I'd probably say it's a well-paid occupation.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. Last film you watched?
The last one.
Or what did you last binge watch?
I'm currently binge watching. Now, I'm going to sound really boring now because I've just been on about the building trade, but it is a TV series, and it's not even that new. And it's called the Great British House Giveaway.
Yeah.
I think it's on Channel 4, and they get bought a house, and then they have to renovate it up.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a budget, and then they get to keep the profit, but there's not always profit in it. And yeah, I think it's interesting. I think because I've done it, and I see how other people are doing it. And it's
I dread those personally types of programs. But when my wife watches them every single time, she suddenly turns around and says, I can spend your money.
Yes. Yeah, let's do the house.
Let's do the house. Okay, couple of last questions here. Favourite tracks? We're not talking music, we're talking tracks. Those oval things you go round week in, week out.
Yeah, do you know what? It's hard to pick a favourite. There's literally no track I dislike. I don't go to one and that's a lie. I said that at Plymouth. That's just not even a Speedway track. But apart from that, I like Glasgow.
Yeah.
I like, obviously, Poole and Leicester are up there, so I wouldn't be racing there week in, week out. I like Kings Lynn. So to ask me to, I can't really say one, but I enjoy. They're probably my most enjoyable ones.
So I've just established you're quite happy to guest at Kings Lynn and any other track that's going to offer you.
Yeah. If there's a guest booking, call me.
Yeah. And final question, what do you do to switch off? I mean, it sounds as if you're a really busy person and you've got lots of plates spinning at the moment.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't know. My main, I love watching motocross and supercross.
Yeah.
I think that's, and I'm into other sports as well, boxing, Formula One, things like that. And I think, just chilling out, watching them kind of things, watching some, a good series and stuff with Shani on the sofa. That's about it.
Yeah, it's a bit of family sort of time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, cool. Richard Lawson, thank you so much.
No worries.
Enlightening. Richard Lawson, Speedway rider by summer, plasterer by winter. And let's have a look at the full fixture picture before we round things off on No Brakes, No Fear for this week. Tuesday then, Plymouth versus Redcar in the Cab Direct Championship, and then in the Cab Direct Championship Wednesday, it's the Oxford Cheetahs versus the Scunthorpe Scorpions, the Poole Pirates versus the Redcar Bears. Thursday, Premiership Knockout Cup semi-final second leg, Ipswich versus Birmingham, and a debut for Freddie Lindgren as well in that one. That's in the second leg. I've got a first leg tie between the Kings Lynn Stars and the Sheffield Tigers. Both of those start at 7:30. Friday, 7th of June, Cab Direct Championship, Edinburgh Monarchs versus the Oxford Cheetahs. Oxford very much ahead in that one at half-time. 36.54, the midway point of that one. Scunthorpe Scorpions versus the Berwick Bandits. That's much closer. It's the second leg of the meeting from just last weekend that we heard from Simon Lambert speaking about earlier. 46.44, Scunthorpe lead in that one. National Development League action between the Middlesbrough Tigers and the Bellevue Colts. Saturday, June 8th, Attis Insurance Sports Division British Final, Bellevue National Speedway Stadium, 7:30, also live on Eurosport and Discovery Plus. Nothing on Sunday in the world of Speedway. Monday, Row Motor All Premiership. You've got the fixture between the Ipswich Witches and the Sheffield Tigers. Very close in that one, 46.44 ahead for the Witches. And then next Tuesday, Cab Direct Championship, Plymouth Gladiators versus the Berwick Bandits. And Berwick lead going into that one, but not by many, 47.42 at the midway point as far as the aggregate bonus is concerned there. Just looking ahead as well, Kyle Howarth has a second crack at his testimonial. That's on June 12th at Sheffield, a Wednesday night at Sheffield, 7:30 the start time for that one. And best wishes to Carlisle Howarth in his testimonial there at Sheffield for the second crack at that, because it was, of course, rained off at the start of the season. So that's how things look in the week ahead. Have a great week in Speedway, whatever you're doing. We'll be back with more next week here on No Brakes, No Fear.
No brakes, no fear. The official British Speedway podcast.
Sports Social Podcast Network.